Hey, welcome to Mooney Reads. My name is Beck, and today I wanted to talk a little bit about my TBRs. I'm going to be changing up how I do my TBRs a little bit. I mentioned this in my April TBR video. Really, the popular TBR format doesn't work super well for me. I like the idea of having a list, I like the idea of order, but I just always end up not really following it. So I've decided to change up how I'm organizing stuff a little bit. I've separated some of my books by topic, forming ongoing TBRs. My plan is to pick one book every month or sometimes every other month, we'll see kind of how that works, from each of these different lists to read. Having things organized by topic gives me, I think, a structure that's more useful than just, I'm going to read these each month. So I actually have a little bit more of a goal in mind with these TBRs. I will still use them to inform monthly TBRs, but my monthly TBRs are going to look a lot smaller because they are mostly going to be from these lists. I may add a couple of other books, kind of just depending on what's going on, but for the most part I want to give myself more space to kind of read as I go, just because that's how I tend to work. So over the next little while you will see a number of TBR lists. Each of these different lists is going to have an overarching topic. Most of the books within these will be nonfiction, although there is a chance for some fiction within some of these. The TBR lists that I'm putting together at the moment include the history of HIV and AIDS activism, LGBT history, race and history, leftist books, and theology books. The majority of my theology books are going to be centering liberation theology and queer theology. Now there is certainly a chance that other topics are going to pop up. I do have a number of different types of feminist books that I need to get through, so there's a chance for a gender studies TBR at some point. I also have an awful lot of memoirs. I don't really know if I'm going to do that. We'll just see how this works. This is an ever changing kind of process. I'm trying to figure out what's going to work best for me. But if you have any book recommendations for things that would fit within those topics that I mentioned, definitely let me know. If any of those topics is particularly interesting to you and you want to hear more about those books, also let me know about that. Now, even though a lot of this is going to be nonfiction centered, I'm still going to be reading a lot of fiction and a lot of graphic novels. I'm just not going to be pre-planning that as much. So a lot of this is really for myself and figuring out what way I read best. Hopefully at least somebody finds it a little bit interesting. Maybe your brain works similarly to mine and can get something out of this. I'm mostly making this video so that you all know kind of what to expect. You can expect these topical TBRs. You can still expect monthly TBRs, but like I said, they'll be a little bit shorter. I'm also going to continue to have monthly wrap-ups, but I'm also going to make videos that are specifically to wrap up and update the topical TBRs. So I will likely go more into detail on those books during those wrap-ups. So let me know if you have questions or book recommendations. And like always, thank you all so much for watching. Bye.